Hey, this is Ted from Death Angel, and I want you to put your horns up way high for the metal.
3, 2, 1.
We're in Webster Hall in New York City. It's great to have Death Angel back. Of course, this is Mr. Ted Aguilar.
How
are you, man?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Dude, it's great to have you guys back in town. Last time was with, none other than Children of Bottom, an amazing run. And, of course, this run is just insane. You guys, COC, LODY, and, of course, CAVALERA CONSPIRAcy, man. How did that come about, man? Because it's obviously a very strong package of very different, but, of course, legendary bands when it comes to you and the CAVALERA brothers and, of course, COC.
Yeah. We were at home, we were looking to do something going on tour, and we had a few offers that came up, but nothing that, really fit the whole thing. And we decided, well, if we're not going to go on tour, let's continue writing the record, because we already started writing the record. And all of a sudden, the CAVALERA thing came up. I go, let's go, man. We'll write on the road. You know what I mean? And, the CAVALERAs, what could you say? They're legendary, and it's a good, diverse bill. And we decided, let's just jump on the bill, go out and have a good time with these guys.
And you said you guys are writing new music, so why don't we tell them what's going on, what's the status, when they can expect some new Death Angel music? That's obviously the question that they are asking right now.
Yeah. We have some songs written right now, and just skeletons. And after this tour, we go to Europe for July and August for the festivals, some festivals and some headlining shows, and doing some UK dates with Queensryche and Armored Saint. Then we're going to spend the rest of September finishing up demoing and writing. So we're expected to go into the studio October 1st with a release date probably March of 2016.
You guys are taking your time because you want to make sure, because your last album, almost 3-4 albums are so good. So you guys have a little pressure behind you have to follow some great albums.
Yeah, there's pressure, and
good pressure.
Good pressure, but we're not looking at it that way. We're looking at it as the dream calls for blood, and that's it. We're probably going to take it to another level, but it's still going to be Death Angel no matter what. It's still going to be heavy and whatnot, but we're not going to top the dream calls for blood. We're not going to top that. It is what it is. That was the headspace we were at the time, and right now we just want to make a good metal record, that has the DA stamp on it. So,
what are some other flavors thus far that are in there? Some of the ingredients
Man. It's when it comes to writing and telling you what the songs are about, it's kind of hard to give you a description, because right now we just have the music written. Mark hasn't written any lyrics. When the album's recorded, mixed, and mastered, and delivered, and we talk again, I could give you a better description. It's right now. It's in the writing phases, and we're starting to demo, so it's kind of hard to tell because things evolve. We'll write. It sounds good. Then when Mark writes something, it kind of totally changes. Oh, why don't we do this and why don't we do that? It's always evolving, and I won't really know until it's done. We're turning it in. That's but it's heavy. It's Death Angel-ish, but it's gonna be next level.
You guys plan on going to Audio Hammer to work with those guys again, or?
That's the plan. We've been talking about to Jason, and right now that's the plan. Things could change, but we want to, because it'll be if we do, it'll be our third album with Jason, and we feel comfortable with Jason. He did great on the last 2 records, and the stuff we're slowly writing now, we're I think it needs Jason's, touch on it, So we've been talking to him, nothing set in stone, but I think we're going in that direction.
Hell yeah, Mac, dude, I'm so excited because, again, it's a great time for metal because every band understands that there's a lot of compromise. It's hard to get kids into the shows. It's very hard to get kids to buy the records. And I think that's a good thing because then everybody takes their time to push, something that's quality, not just put something out because of putting something out.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. A lot of people we've talked to, and they're saying, why don't you just release an EP and this and that? But we want to release an album. And when we release an album, we take our times with the songs. We want to make sure everything is even if it takes a little longer, because once it's recorded, mixed, and mastered, it's in the history books, man, of metal. You can't take it back. So you got to make sure everything is the way you want it to be.
Yeah, there's no undo.
Of course, I mean, maybe years later, a year later, you're gonna look at it and go, I wish I would have changed that. But you're always gonna have that with every record you put out. You know what I mean? You just gotta stop, and and I think with the last two albums, when I was listening to Relentless like a week ago, like before the tour, and I was like, I still like it, man. With past albums, like I could do without that song, but the last two albums, I'm like, I like everything on it. So it takes a while. Like I'll wait about a year and go listen to the album. I go, do I still like it as much as I did when it came out? Yeah, I do.
Now, what other records, apart from your band's records, do you like listening to nowadays? What are you listening to nowadays when you're like driving around the Bay Area?
Whoa. I mean, all over the map. I'm really digging. I've always had Adele in my iPod, Bruno Mars. I've been listening to a lot of Muse lately. Tom Petty's always in my rotation. But I also listen to the classics. Right now I've been listening to, like, on tour, Will, our drummer, he'll bust out the old Judas Priest, the Van Halen, to kind of bring us back, like, yeah, this is where it all started type thing. But as far as new music, I mean, they've been around for a while, but Muse, I'm really liking Muse a lot. They're a really good band, their production's really good, and there's some good songwriting in that one. So I would say Muse is on my top list.
You imagine a Muse and Death Angel tour?
That would be cool. I mean, we'd play to a lot of people, but I don't know if a lot of people would dig us, but it would be a good tour. I mean, I see that something happening in Europe with a festival, I wouldn't mind playing a festival with Muse, so I get to see them. But, that's interesting. Very interesting. I'm sure Rob, our guitar player, would love to go on tour with Muse, but then we have to change up the whole set list and play Room with a View and Veil of Deception and stuff like that. But, yeah, Muse is at the top of my list right now.
Who was the person who blamed for you getting into music? Was it your father? Was it your family who got you into music? Was it a cousin?
My older brother. He's a lot older than I am, like 5 years older. And he had friends who listened to, like, Led Zeppelin, Kiss and whatnot. So I tag along, and they were all into that stuff. So, and he's not into music anymore, but it can't still, so I owe it all to him to kind of expose me. And, yeah, he was the one. Him and his friends. So I'm glad.
And what are some of your guilty pleasures, either music-wise or, just in anything that you like? People will be like, what? Why? That's cool, but...
Guilty pleasures? Wow. I don't even... It's so bad I don't even want to say, There's a couple of tunes I like from the Backstreet Boys. I kind of dig them, Don't dig them necessarily, but they got some good hooks and melodies. And this artist, I guess kind of fairly new artist called Brent Dennen. He has a cheesy ass song called Sydney, I'll Come Running. So that's it. But outside of music, no guilty pleasures. I'm just a low key guy. I just stay home and just run my dogs and just kick back.
Oh, you brought up the dogs. We love dogs. I mean, anybody who doesn't love and appreciate dogs, maybe it's because they haven't had dogs. Yeah. But tell me about your dogs, man. The breeds, and why you have dogs. You know what I'm saying? You're on the road.
Yeah, I love dogs. I'm a dog lover. Me and my wife are dog lovers. We had 3 Labradors, a black, chocolate, and yellow. But last year on the Bodum tour, my black passed away, and I was like bummed out. It was like I got the news 2 hours before we hit the stage. London was his name. I'm gonna put him down, and I was kind of bummed out. But I'm a dog lover. I got 2 more, and it's hard when you're on the road. But my wife holds down the fort, so it's cool. But I donate to the Golden Gate Labrador Retriever, and anything to do with dogs, I check it out, and I'll donate. I actually donated some money and waiting for a shirt in the mail. It's like Rescuing Dogs is Metal. It's a heavy metal dude carrying a puppy, so cool. I can't wait to get that.
Who makes that shirt?
I don't know. I saw it. A friend of mine sent me the link because she knows I'm a big dog lover, so I went on site, donated, and I'm going to sport that shirt.
Every time we try to carry on, another vision is on.